Napoleon and his godless empire finally start losing their grasp on Europe. With the British recently taking Paris, the French capital, the death knell now screams for Napoleon. With the British tying up some loose ends and dealing with some independent revolutionaries in Paris, they now set their sights onto Corsica and Strasbourg, the two final bastions of the French Empire. One cannot feel, however, that with the death of Napoleon and the destruction of his French Empire, that peace cannot last in Europe. With the expansionist attitude of the British, an unseen threat may be found out of necessity. Hello, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War. Not exactly where we left off, for a change. I decided to remove the revolutionary armies off of recording simply because this campaign would never move. It just wouldn't move for a couple more weeks otherwise. So we have done that fairly cleanly. Paris is now fairly secure. If we just take out our militia, which are policing there, we can see we still have to exempt them from taxes to keep them, from revolting anyway. So actually we'll see what they look like with the militia in there. Oh, we can actually tax that, and that makes a good 3.7 thousand bonus to our income. Look at our income, it has shot straight up to 30,000 income, which is absolutely monstrous. So we'll do a quick rundown. What have I been doing off of camera, because I have advanced a few turns. Been doing a bit of housekeeping, been using our income to just shore up our infrastructure, build up some mines. We've changed New Orleans' university over to a secret society, which has given us another spy, which is excellent. We have one over here as well, just looking at assassinating their gentlemen, but I don't think that's really too necessary. We're going to start moving some spies towards Prussia for a later war. We're going to move this navy, I think we'll just move it down here for now, to Calais. We have finally upgraded to an ordnance board and a military academy in London. So we're going to change around our technological research to fit that a bit better, because we're completely focused on the industrial technologies. You can see that's going to take a long time to get any of those at the moment, because largely because these universities don't have specialist gentlemen there. It's going to be pretty much the same story actually for our military technologies from Schleswig anyway. So let's see if anything's any better through here. It's going to take 11 turns for pretty much anything there. So we'll come from Salamanca over to Quicklime to begin with, because we are going to start recruiting some experimental howitzers, and Quicklime is just absolutely brilliant for those. Let's just remind ourselves exactly what the rest of the technologies do, because I very rarely get to this stage of the game. I sort of just leave it really after a while. So this one allows rocketry and reduces the recruitment costs. It gives everything else a bit of experience. Not the most important then. What does uniform armament do? Allows better steamships. This is a Darth mod exclusive, I believe, which is excellent. And rifle cannons just helps us with that a bit more. So actually standardized artillery does move in to help upgrade our navy, which is rather interesting, as well as of course iron plating, which is great. We want to get general staff so we can get to the final staff college, of course, and that does increase our campaign movement range, which is brilliant. Modern rifles helps with our light infantry, something we sort of lack as the British until this point. We don't really get much of a variety on that. But otherwise, I think we're doing okay. So we're looking at getting our roads upgraded as well, because we've finally got the money to do that en masse. They do cost a hell of a lot to get to metalled roads, but it's certainly worth the investment. We do actually, well, just about to get metal roads in Madrid. We've been neglecting the Spanish region for quite some time, so we do want to start upgrading the steam pump gold mine here, because that is a long-term bonus of +1 per turn each, or to each region per turn. That's what I want to say, get that right. Tiny, but it all adds up. So as far as military advancement, we're starting to spy on the Prussians. We're trying to get our spies some experience. So we're just going to carry on sabotaging for now, because that's what we want to specialise in. And we're finally closing in on the final regions held by the French Empire, that being Ajaccio and Strasbourg over here. Now the Prussians after, of course, Alsace-Lorraine, because depending on who you ask, classically that is a German region. But we're going to try and nab that before they do. But we are, you'll notice, sieging down Corsica, so we'll go for that immediately. And we could also through this, but what's the fun in that? Let's go and destroy this very simple army here. Okay, so we're not actually going to use all of our units in this battle, and that's because I want to get some experience on our units with just that little bit less experience than others. So we're going to push forwards with our basic line infantry supporting our cannons. Excellent stuff. We've got some Highlanders over here as well, which only have a couple chevrons. Going to try and experience up this unit, I think, of light foot and really boost them that much more, despite them, of course, having a few chevrons already. I think that would be actually really damn decent to just push these that much more. Because if we get that accuracy on these, then they'll start picking off some elite units later on, which is absolutely fabulous. And the same goes for these units as well, where they're just a little bit lacking, especially something like the Royal Fusiliers, which can later on have that punch. So that we're going to take this particularly small engagement and use it for that advantage in the long run. And we really don't need our full army to take this on either. Well, we've been caught short here, trying to get up the hill with our light foot. We've got to double time it back here because the enemies beat us to the hill, which is not great. They have just got one volley out with some militia. They've not got a lot of our men from that. It's absolutely fine. They're now going to run into our line infantry here, down the hill. Not the biggest hill advantage there. It's absolutely fine. We can fight this very happily with an excellent first volley as the enemy decides what to do with their formation. And we're not going to get any friendly damage there, which is great stuff. We are firing from the trees here against some armed citizenry, which is good. We can take that battle, and we've just about routed off some militia with some standard foot here. So we're going to take this area as quickly as possible and defend against, yeah, they're certainly going to come back there. It's absolutely fine. How we're doing over here, we want to get some canister shots out and a barrage right into this massive foot over here. Looks like they're actually going to go for a... Oh, we needed that canister shot out a little bit earlier because they're going for a massive melee push. Oh, they're just rousing just as they're about to make contact. So unlucky for them. What we can do then is actually target their general there with our canister shot. And we should be able to swipe him there. Oh, that is brilliant. Absolute carnage. Absolute carnage. Let's retarget the massive blob of infantry there. Because the rest of our Highlanders and such can fire on the moving general. And he has shattered. So, okay, it's not gone exactly how we planned. But when does it? You know, actually, if we were going to go for pure experience on our men, a melee engagement would have been the way to do it. Would have been very bloody, would have taken a lot of losses. But it's okay. It's alright. Got there in the end. So yeah, just a mass rout now as we just fill them with grape shot here. It says we're out of range with our canister shot, but still fairly effective here. And they are going to run back into it. They've not had quite enough there, apparently. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, they're completely shattered now. Do have that militia unit still about, though, and that's what's holding us up here. We are in range here. About to get another volley off. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's all experience for our men. So, just about coming back into the range of our light foot, are they? That's absolutely fine. The armed citizenry have not had enough themselves. But I think really, might as well just fire some round shot with our cannons into them. And there we go, heroic victory. Lost 140 men. That's probably the fewest losses we've taken in this campaign. So it bloody should have been for that battle. Just get rid of that horrible noise in the background before it starts up. Don't have the money to upgrade the infrastructure or the tax office, but it's not going to be the biggest money maker for us. You see it's 418 there. It really is just for the sake of getting rid of the French from Corsica. So, that's about it for this turn, I think. No, it's not. We have, of course, got to take Strasbourg. Which army do we want for this? It's going to be a town battle, and they're pretty much identical, really. So, I think we'll take... Who needs the most traits? Michael Stoll's got a lot of traits. So does John Moore. Okay. Well, I think simply because this has no light infantry, this will perform a little better in the town. And there we go. Final battle for Napoleon today, guys. Some colonne d'attaque, as ever. Some very well experienced regiment of Catalogne. And just a lot of militia as well. So should be fairly straightforward. Going to be a bit of a meat grinder once again. They do, because of these colonne d'attaques, even though one of them is actually quite battered, outnumber one of our armies 1-to-1. And we are actually going to get reinforced by Friedrich Wilhelm von Bülow over here, who is across the river. But we're not going to see him. One army should be fine for this. Well, you can plan for a town battle as much as you like, and you will be given an open field. So Strasbourg lies in the far corner of the map, and I think that's going to be fairly irrelevant for a lot of the battle. It's going to be taking place in the open plains here. This is a very nice looking hill. We're going to try and rush that so we can get 1 unit on top of this. It's fairly impassable in these craters over here. It looks like it can only run up from this side over here, and we can approach this a little easier from this side ourselves. And that's excellent. So the idea there is to move our cannons forward, I think, to at least just this road here. Not too far ahead. We do have some decent range on our 9-pounders there. We'll support them with 1 unit of Swiss line there. Get some Swiss grenadiers down here at the foot of the hill to protect that, and then any infantry on top can fire over. That's the plan anyway. We're going to use some light cavalry on the flank to support there because it's a little more open, and largely, really, we're just using reserves. We've got 2 units of, we've got Swiss Grenadiers and standard foot in the central reserve. We've got a couple units over here to plug a gap if need be, but otherwise these 2 units are going to be taking any cavalry charges or melee engagements that might come out of the town there, and also hide if that doesn't occur. We're going to be hiding in the woodland over here where possible and just rush that through. And they're backed up by some more reserve if need be there. So let's get going. And I've just noticed our allied Prussians over here. This is basically practice of Waterloo, this, except the Prussians are actually on time. They're coming in from the flank already at the start of the battle. Excellent. So they're pushing in with some light hussars over here towards the flank. And that's going to give the enemy something to think about. So really, we just want to capitalise on this. We want to push, push, push. Yeah, look at this. We do need to be careful. We've spotted some spike traps over here. Some lovely men are practicing getting fists over there. Absolutely fine. They're using their chasseurs cheval. They might have got some friendly fire there. They certainly did onto Napoleon. Excellent stuff. Taking out 1. Yeah, it's not a fair trade for them. Okay, well, we need to unlimber our cannons because they will be about in range there, I'm pretty sure. And we just need to push. Yeah, forget this hill and defensive advantage. We need to rush the enemy down, take advantage of them fighting on 2 sides there, and completely encircle them. Just get inside the town with some rather thick columns there. Abandon the trees. Go for that wood line. And that should be right. We are in range, aren't we? Yeah, we're in range, certainly. So we'll just go for the central line of colonne d'attaque. And actually, yeah, getting some counter battery on that barrage there is good. Yeah, so they're not too short to do themselves now because they have Prussian cavalry threatening Napoleon already. Don't think they'll be able to take that. Yeah, they're only lancers there. They can't stay in prolonged engagements even against skirmisher cavalry like chasseurs cheval. And they're going to run into the spike traps. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Okay, but we can't advance too far ahead because the enemy is actually pushing in with their garrison units, as you can see. So we have stopped, ready to fire onto them. Excellent. A slight dip in the lay of the land there. And we're probably not too great on our own formation. We want to make sure we take this hill as well as that minor tree cover. And I think we can just double time up the rest of the hill here. Lovely stuff. And over here, we might still be able to bait the enemy into attacking us from this hill. Actually, we'd love to have some light infantry now, because that would probably just about be in range. That's okay. So let's make sure our cannons are safe. Push up. Support. Lovely stuff. Yeah, they're certainly going to be fine. We might actually be able to get some lovely canister shots. We all love canister shots over onto this armed citizenry. Get a barrage off, thank you. Probably getting some friendly fire here because of the terrible arc there, but now we're firing from the hill down onto the French garrison, and that will just encourage them to rout with the combined arms of grape shot and canister shot out of that. Let's just focus on these rather chevron fusiliers. Their morale will be extremely high there, but they are going to be charging. They're certainly going for a melee engagement, you can see, because of the massive charge, of course, and how they're holding their rifles, but morale just can't stand against the massive volley fire and canister shot there. And there we go, we are using this hill. It's making me very happy that we did manage to use that. How are we doing in the centre here? Oh, we're bracing for another charge. Oh, shot right in the face there. Let's push up our general because we will need to inspire units and hold our morale steady. Don't need these reserves, so we'll just push into the buildings a little more, and we'll take this hill a little more succinctly. Double time that push, thank you. Another hill advantage is going to be used over here. Excellent, onto the garrison. It's only militia. They will be shattered very easily there. Oh, they're pushing in with some hussars. That will hurt us. Oh, we're pushing a little too hard with our general there. Oh dear. Gonna need to push in with our reserves. Yeah, colonne attack. This is gonna look beautiful, but we're gonna be taking that melee charge just a little too hard there. Just rinse them through that canister shot though. Yeah, okay, we certainly need... oh, funny things going on the indicators there. Not a problem. Let's get some lines over here. Bolster our defences. Very lucky we saw that just on time. That's okay. Running with our King's German, are we? Yeah, that's not too much of a surprise, really. Okay. One last hurrah, then. One last hurrah from the French. Okay. Yeah, we just need to take this melee engagement here to protect our cannons. And we need, then, to use our own cavalry if they're taking a melee engagement. Double time this, please. Glad we do have reserves, but they're so far away now because we've not kept up with that. Okay, these two units need to move too far on there. We need to free up these. Because we're now harassed by the hussars. Might not be able to win that, I don't think, the French there. We need to get some rear fire onto this colonne attack to really push that morale break. We will be able to win this engagement. So you can see the enemy's morale is wavering. Don't know why we're not firing. We should be ready there. Tell you what, let's commit a cardinal sin and actually tell our units to attack manually. And that should get them encouraged to do so there. Yeah, just a massive French charge here. Don't like that. Need to get on top of that though with our cavalry, like we said. Yeah, we'll do that. Move up over here, please. Cannons are running, not a problem. Absolutely expected there. Getting some flanking fire into the colonne attack. Going to follow that up with the cavalry charge. Push through this gap with our own cavalry here so we can get on the flanks of the enemies. Hold fire here because we're just going to shoot our own cavalry. And actually, don't hold fire anymore. Fire on the armed citizenry. Because now that area is clear. Force a retreat. In fact, no. Snipe Napoleon to force a major rout across the enemy lines. We have made contact onto the marinas over here. So we should be firing now on to the hussars. We've cleared up this flank. Let's push like that. The enemy is, or the allies rather, are forcing a minor engagement with lancers. We need to use that spare time to our advantage, then take that wall cover. And actually, we have killed Napoleon, so that'll be a massive morale shock for them to deal with. Get actually this unit over here. Lovely. Cavalry saves the day as ever. We're going to force an engagement with this minor unit of colonne d'attack because they've not formed a square just yet. It's a very, very messy engagement. Was not expecting this. We're going to even lose 2 units of cannons. That's okay. We're gonna replace them with howitzers anyway. Broken the enemy cavalry there, which is great. Finally, and we need to stop firing with everyone here because we're just going to kill our own cavalry if we continue that. So it's pretty much over as quickly as it started there. Enemy is majorly rousing. Need to just take this, get on top of the enemy cannons to completely rout them off. Double check the militia doesn't return. And where's the rest of our units here? If we break off with our cavalry and push into the trees here, what we can do is then start firing over here. And actually turn on fire at will once again. And just sweep up the rest of the colonne d'attack there. While they retreat. Force a retreat here. Double checking this is great. Some more experience on our dragoons. Just forming up here. We need to double time the last of that. We are going to get flanks though. We need to finally give up that hill. General's under attack. Don't believe that. Just some stray shots. So some major losses on both sides here. Where's our cavalry gone? Is it this unit? They're pushing a little too hard there. Why are they all over on one side then? That's interesting. Okay. Let's push up once again to help that. What do the enemy have left? This unit over here and something in the town by the looks of things. Prussians are giving it a go. Yeah, smart citizenry. Lovely. And there we go. Finish them off. Let's just retreat from that. Cavalry can run in. Once again, that's only militia, so they can't form a square against us. And once this unit breaks, provided no one else decides to return, that'll be Strasbourg ours. Final battle with the French, and what a bloody one it was. Not happy with the results of that at all. We really shouldn't have let that melee charge happen. We really shouldn't have, our centre should not have broken like that at all. So that's mostly because we put so many units in reserve and then just didn't use them. Very silly there. But we'll take the battle there, and that will be a heroic victory apparently. So as expected from that melee charge, I did lose some cannons. Not a problem. Let's see how many men those cannons killed. They did pull their weight with 270 men killed. Unfortunately, it was the most experienced unit we did lose there. But I was really planning on switching our standard cannons to howitzers anyway, now that we do have good access to those. The Swiss line, they're getting 2 chevrons because they killed 634 men and survived. Absolutely brilliant. Anyone else with a extremely high number? No, Swiss Grenadiers. Very good performing unit, standard foot, although killing 433 men did not acquire any extra chevrons of experience. Very silly there. So, we now have Darling of the Gutter Press, +2 to morale in battles, very helpful indeed. Siege Expert, more command when sieging, and finally... French Empire has been destroyed. Brilliant. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We are going to repair this because we have the money to do so. It's going to take a long time to replenish here. But what we can do is pull back. And now, sounds strange to say, but now is when the hard part starts in this campaign. So we're going to want to take a couple turns to really shore up our defences, recruit some more armies, because we have 2 more provinces to take for, two more specific provinces for a victory. We do need to shore up the general number. The first one is once again returning to Parma over here. If we use Nelson's fairly close to scout that, there's a lot of men once again on Parma. I'll just show you more clearly here. So they have 1 massive stack actually garrisoning, and that's no longer just militia. So that's great. And they have another stack defending there, which is no longer just militia. They also have pretty much a full stack of ships here. It's largely trade ships in this one, so that's okay. And it looks like it's a guess trade ships and frigates in this one. So we can take that, but just for safety, I'd like to increase our numbers in Nelson's fleet. So rather than take loads and loads and loads of turns to recruit more ships, I think really we just might be better off combining the 2. Or it's really a case of how patient do you want to be, because we are building in 11 turns a steam dry dock here, which once we have the technologies, and of course it's given away by the name, will allow steamships, but it does also provide us with more, let's check that a bit better, it provides us with 122 gun first rate ships, as well as rocket ships, which actually I think rocket ships do have more a place than rocket artillery and land battles. Bomb catchers are always very fun as well, but of course just more experienced heavy first rates as well. So I think we'll leave Parma to a boosted bonus towards the end of the campaign, because we also have to take Hanover, and that's held by Prussia. And Prussia is, I would guess, despite the size of Austria, Prussia's, I think, going to be the hardest one, actually. Okay, so the military rank is actually smaller than Austria. In fact, Austria's military ranking is now top. So that is interesting. But that will be because Austria has a lot of armies. Prussia is probably only 1 or 2 armies behind Austria, but their men generally are better than Austria. They will be very close to matching us, actually. Yeah, 2 chevrons on grenadiers, 41 accuracy with 9 morale. If we go to our standard infantry, or our King's German is just a little bit better on morale and 40 accuracy. If we go to something similar, Swiss Grenadiers do have more morale, but accuracy is not so good. So we're going to keep our good relations with Prussia until we can build up and then pounce, because if we go towards straight away, we're going to get a good few provinces taken from us immediately. We have to take Brussels to start with. That's a major recruitment centre. We have to deal with this army here because it's just in the way. And we do also have an army which could threaten Marseille. And Marseille is a very good money-making province. So we also want to get Wellesley back over onto the continent. We also have a surprise waiting for the Prussians. We're going to create a new model army here. Because we now have these 2 new military buildings, we're getting 4 units of experimental artillery out already. We're getting the Earl of Uxbridge, a one-time heavy cavalry unit there. Excellent charge bonus, excellent melee attack and morale there. We're also getting some standard dragoon guards, which you can only have 4 of, but they are heavy cavalry. They can dismount because they're dragoons, which we don't tend to use. And we're also now able to get Coldstream guards. Get 2 of those, but they come out of the gate with 1 chevron of experience and 60 accuracy and 13 morale. It's absolutely disgusting. Pretty sure they inspire nearby people as well. Yeah, they inspire nearby units, and they pretty much, as far as hiding goes and taking cover, they're light infantry because they can hide in light scrubs, not just woodland. So we're making an extremely elite army here because we do also have access to standard Coldstream Grenadiers we're going to use. We do also have better access to foot, I believe. Yeah, we of course can't recruit, they don't have the money for it, but we get 4 units of foot guards as well. So that's going to come. We'll just end the turn and see what we can do perhaps. So we have some construction. We have finally some metalled roads in London, Madrid and Paris. That's excellent actually. I didn't realise we bought them all at the same time. So our main capital regions, which are of course the main money makers, will be that much better at making money for us. Caen and Reims now have magistrates. We now have in Lyon a merchant house. So we'll try and find that. Here we go. I totally didn't forget where Lyon was. We're going to upgrade that once again to a banking house. And we have a new nation arises, Württemberg, once again. That's not the biggest surprise there. So that forces the Prussians out of there, but I'm pretty sure they'll try and take that fairly soon once again. So what can we do? How are we looking with happiness in Strasbourg? Not great. We can get away with exempting that from tax because the income's only, well, it's not even 500 there, so we're not going to feel that whatsoever. We need to push back into perhaps Paris or Reims. Let's see how our replenishment changes in Reims. Yeah, it's a slightly improved there. Can we move up? Yeah, just because we're allied there. Okay. We really need to keep an army about somewhere very, very close. You know what? I think we will actually just garrison Strasbourg with this unit and we can keep them taxed there. This is just going to be a defensive in case the Prussians want to get into our territory there later on. Let's see, what else could we do with our money? I'm guessing 33,000 a turn. We need to do something with it. Let's get back to Ajaccio and upgrade this. How are we looking over here for happiness? Just the same. Again, it's not making any money for us, so it might as well get back onto the dockyard there, run away. Embark up. Wellesley he's gonna have to watch out for Moufling over here because that's gonna be nasty. What we can do is fiddle around a little diplomatically. We're gonna have to anyway because if we go to war with Prussia, we will start a all-out European war once again. We'll demonstrate why. It should be pretty obvious. Everyone's allied with Prussia. We're all allied with everyone as well. So it's going to be picking sides here. So you just got to guess that the enemy's going to side with Prussia. So we're going to need money in the bank to force people to drop their alliance with Prussia, and that will take a lot of money. So let's just get Wellesley onto Marseille once again. And I think, really, what we can do, as far as that goes then, is it's just more housekeeping, really. It's making sure we have spies in correct locations. It's shoring up our defences, creating more and more armies. Where else do we have spies? Still got one in England, which is not the best use. Got one over here, that's fine. And that's about it, okay. Not a problem. So yeah, it's just making sure our economy is good enough to handle greater armies. And we can see we have a lot of constructions available, but not all of them provide excellent late tier economies. We do have money to spare, of course, but it really disappears very quickly. So, I think if we tax Madrid that much harder, no need to upgrade the barracks and such here because it's so out of the way. If we create an army here, it's going to take so long to actually get anywhere. This is a gold mine. We're going to upgrade this, which we did talk about earlier. A banking house, fully upgraded vineyard. Let's see. These industrial factories don't really help us in the long run. We could tax Marseille that much more. And let's see. It's just taxes, I think, really. I'm going to be able to get a fairly decent army out of the drill school fairly soon in France, which is very useful indeed. So I think we'll just find some taxes, really. It's all good. Steam pump mine don't really help too much. That does help us recruit from Strasbourg, which might be an idea to upgrade that to a drill school. Because we get reduced recruitment costs and extra recruitment capacity from these buildings. So we will upgrade that in the end, actually. And that could be the end of that turn, I think. Just double checking everything there. So, some constructions on the next turn. We have a drill school in Paris. Orleans has been upgraded to a secret society. Got a great museum in London. And that is the penultimate tier for upgrading that, which is excellent. We can upgrade that to a national gallery. And that will increase our happiness in all of our regions, 20 wealth per turn, increase our prestige, and that's excellent. So we're certainly going to do that. We did also invest in getting Nelson's column, which will help us a lot, not only with prestige, but minus 10% to all of our naval units upkeep, which is monstrous. Naval units are the most expensive units. Let's go to HMS Victory. 439 upkeep on that. It's disgusting. We should start getting these out very quickly, actually. Let's get a standard first rate there as well, because it does take quite a while to get these. And in London, of course, we have the start of our new army. Let's give them a general. So, Gengiphobe, +1 to morale, and +2 to morale from Brave Soldier. That might be a winning general there, you know. More command leading infantry and infantry movement range. That actually gets nullified when we put anything that's not infantry in our armies. So we're going to go for Brent Spencer here for extra morale to push our already very highly trained, excellent morale units up even more. Let's go then for more elites. We'll go for all the elites we can eat. Let's go for some Coldstream Grenadiers. Just excellent. Absolutely brilliant. We will want some actually Knack's Rangers. We will want light infantry, and these are pretty much as good as they get. How do they actually? No, they're not as good as they get. Our standard Lightfoot have much more accuracy. So, do these have better range? What am I missing here? 110 range, 120 range. Oh, these are standard line infantry. I'm reading that wrong. Okay. So it's just a more flavourful standard line infantry there. We're not going to bother with them at the moment then. You see, we are very limited on light infantry. We have 10 more slots available. That's all the cavalry I'm going to want, all the artillery I'm going to want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get 2 units of light infantry before I forget. And... You know, I think I will actually save some foot guards just to bolster a future army. So we'll just go for some... British Grenadiers are always fun, but I think standard line infantry is also just... It's just decent as the British. So let's go for a couple of those. That's great. So in 2 turns, we will have another full stack out, which is great. Really, really good indeed. And we do need to get him some experience. So... do we want to start a minor war against anyone? Maybe take Frisia? Could do. Mr. Hamburg here, actually. That would make an excellent little money maker there. Copenhagen. We've been neglecting Copenhagen. We're going to want another army out there, I think. Yeah, we'll certainly want another army out there. But I think that's actually all we have time for today, everyone. It will just drag out otherwise. Might do a little more off-screen next time just to get into the action, because it is going to take quite a number of turns to get prepared for this massive war to end the series. And that's going to be no small undertaking either. Like I said, this is where the hard part starts now. Prussia, especially now it's quite established, is going to be no joke. It's going to be some tough battles ahead. So now that we've destroyed the French, it's certainly not an end to the action. So we're looking forward to presenting that in the future. But that is going to be it for today, everyone. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. May all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.